You might recall that when we were watching the Avatar event, there was another thing that they talked about there. And what that was, is the Squid game show. And if you remember what I said there, I said, I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna watch this. It's probably gonna be really, really bad. Because even before this aired, I had already heard of this headline right here, right? That the contestants were very, very mad about how they were treated and that it wasn't really great. Charlie has made a video about this. And before we get into it, let me just tell you one thing. I don't watch a lot of reality TV because it's horrible. What I do watch is Survivor. And one thing that Survivor often gets, like, people say that it's fake, right? The thing with Survivor is that I am 100% certain that it's not fake. If it were fake, there'd be leaks. It's been going on way too long, and everything we've ever heard from behind the scenes indicates that it's real. For better or worse. We'll get to this. For better or worse, sometimes Survivor is very, very boring because it is real. The thing with this is, I watched some of the episodes. I watched them on 2x speed, by the way, because of course I did. I wasn't gonna spend like 40 minutes watching this. And the number one thing I kept thinking while I was watching it is, no shot do these people exist. These people felt like less realistic anime characters. And they were given, like, arcs. You know the typical thing in anime where I hate X becomes X? And that's like a big cliche, right? So, compared to what we saw in this show, or I guess I'm not going to say we, because I don't think most people watched it. Compared to what I saw in the show, that would have been like Shakespeare. So let's see what Charlie has to say about this a great piece. Wait, I want to say one thing. This is not something that is so bad that it becomes fun. This is just bad. You shouldn't watch this. Don't watch this.
I'm sure most of you probably didn't even know this came out. I didn't know. My parents told me
I didn't
it
know
was
either.
Actually released.
This
we talked
popped up
about
on
it
my
stream
recommended
last week or something. Basically, Netflix threw a desperate Hail Mary. They did a real-life Squid Game in the same vein as Mr. Beast, but did it
Which, by the way, this is another thing that perfectly demonstrates like why corporations can't really keep up with a lot of these trends. Like the fact that Mr. Beast did his own Squid Game, and that was already like months after Squid Game happened, and it took them what, like a year and a half? When did Squid Game come out? It came out like a year or something ago. Of course, everyone's already kind of forgotten about it.
So much worse and cheesier. So it's out. They're way too late to this trend.
Yeah.
Like, this is way tardy to the party. This would be like if they made a reality TV show about the best fidget spinner. Like, it's, I think, missed the mark entirely on, like, hitting while the iron's hot.
How long till the chapter?
And my parents and I watched the first episode tonight.
Oh my god, he watched the first episode? I watched, like, the first four or five.
Sucks.
It does.
So they use, like, real people. It was an open casting call.
Real people is a stretch. These are not real people.
People signed up, they go here and they play the Squid Games in real life. It's terrible. Like, if they had just played the games and made a show out of it, it'd be whatever, it'd be forgettable, but I guess
Yeah, like, the thing with a lot of these reality TV shows is that they kind of, they want to crowbar in a narrative, right? Whereas, you know, there was like Wipeout. That never had any sort of story. It was just people bouncing on big balls and smashing into walls. Wipeout was a good show. I used to watch it with my grandma. It was a good show. Damn, it was a very good show. So if they just played Squid Game as it was in the thing and not really focused on any of the narratives, I think it would have been much better.
Endless popcorn entertainment for a game show. They don't. They try and interject drama into it, a la the actual show, and it falls so flat. So it really feels like they instructed all the people to be as fake and over the top as possible.
Yes.
Where do I even begin?
Same.
So they do interviews with all the people. Well, not all the people, a lot of the people, and every single one of them has
that's
to
like
have their
another
own...
thing. The thing with a lot of reality TV, right, is that the casts are usually small. Squid Game, how many people do they have? It's 427, right? You can't really tell a story with 427 people.
Quirky personality. So there's one guy who's like, sympathy is a weakness. Like, he's speaking like an anime character, and it's right before red light, green light. Spoilers, he makes it through red light, green light, and then he's like, yeah, I'm pretty confident. God made me this way. Why would I want to be anybody else? You know,
This is the type of monologue that was like, people don't speak like this.
People go through struggles, but I don't complain about it. You go through struggles that I went through. The difference between you and me is I'm not whining. Like, that kind of shit, it's terrible. Like, it is insufferable. And it's clear that these people are instructed to say things like this, to be abrasive, to be over the top. Like,
Well, I mean, to be fair, like, they're probably played up, but reality TV does usually cast, like, people that are out there, right? Like, casting me would be the most boring thing ever, because I'm literally, like, if you took a character creator and put all the sliders at middle, that'd be me. Like, I'm so boring. I'd just be like, yeah, well, that guy did something kind of that was not cool. I don't really like him, but, you know, we might want to keep him around for, like, X reason, you know? I would never say these quirky lines. I don't know, I don't think I would.
a girl was doing an interview and she's like, my name actually means all-knowing. Which is accurate because I can see the future.
This is literally like me overanalyzing Attack on Titan. The meaning of their name is actually derived from the Latin meaning of X, blah, 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 blah.
And then she kind of goes in on that a little bit. It's clear they are trying very hard to put some kind of personality into just this very vapid concept of just doing the Squid Games IRL. It's awful. My parents and I ended up just making fun of it the entire time. And it is so phony. I think most of it is scripted. Like, I really do. I think the vast majority of what was filmed here had to be scripted to some level. Because there's, like, this test where after red light, green light, they take two people that just happen to be in the kitchen.
Even if it's not scripted, a lot of them are probably told to, like, for example, when they're, like, shot, right? A lot of them do, like, this very cinematic thing of, and they'll, like, fall over, right? And it's like, bro, you met these people 20 seconds ago. This is not like real-life Squid Game, where, by the way, all of them... Like, spoilers, I guess. Spoilers for Squid Game if you haven't seen it. Like, after the first game, they all leave, right? And then they come back. It's like, no. Like, come on. Stop it.
Peeling carrots together and, chit-chatting. And they're like, you two, you have the choice. Give one player an advantage in the next game, or... eliminate somebody. And it's like this crescendo of music, like, what the fuck are they gonna do? Are they gonna execute somebody? Oh my god, it's the biggest decision of their life. So then they're like debating the morality back and forth as they're peeling carrots, and they're like, they do like 15 different YouTuber thumbnail faces, and like 45 different camera cuts. Eventually they decide to eliminate somebody, and the person they eliminate is number 200. And what's special about number 200 is they had given him his own little brief character arc like 45 seconds before, where he's like, hey, my name's... I think his name was Mati, I think. And he's like, I just want to make a lot of friends here. I want to meet people. I want to have a lot of fun. Maybe get a good group together and just meet everyone. And then 45 seconds later, the test was they choose to eliminate him. And I swear to God, I'm not exaggerating. When they eliminate him, they make a big announcement. The testers have decided to eliminate contestant, and then they spend about a full minute like flipping through numbers to build suspense and all the people.
Yeah, like this is another thing that they play up all the things so much, because obviously in the scripted show it is a big deal, right? Especially when like all the numbers are mowed down and there's just a few of them left. It's obviously a big deal. But this was just like, who the hell cares? We've met him like 20 minutes ago. But the thing with these, like with Survivor, for example, from behind the scenes, a lot of the time you'll hear that they can do things. Like, they can't change things on the fly, because that would break the contract the players have, right? So even though it is supposed to be reality TV, just like it is with, like, lotteries and stuff, there are just laws they must abide. So what I'd be very curious about is how in situations like this the contract looks like. Because the dude was literally, basically randomly removed from the game. I'd be very, very curious how that works. That'd be very, very interesting to learn more about. Because it's like he showed up and he was just removed with absolutely zero things like from his control, right? They just picked him. That was it. It's a very, very weird way to go about it.
To be like on edge as possible. So you have people like literally crying, and then they say 200 is eliminated. And I shit you not, the entire bunk bed dormitory erupts into like hysteric fits of crying. Like, there's one guy who starts jumping up and down going, no! No! For a stranger they don't even know. Like, they don't know this guy. It's a totally random guy that just got eliminated. He never even met him. And the whole dormitory is doing this. They start hugging him. They start crying. Then they do a post-game interview with him, and he's like, I wanted to win this. My family needs a better life. This was all for my family, and now I'm gone. Like, it's all so fake. It's so bad. It's so terrible. And that's just episode 1. Like, it's,
I watched,
oh
like,
my
4 or
god.
5.
I thought it was just gonna be, like, a forgettable throwaway Squid Game, you know, parody.
You know what made me even more mad than all of this? Is because the whole thing isn't out at once. This is one of those times where I was just like, I'm gonna put it on 2x speed. I'm working on thumbnails. I'm working on things. Like, I don't need to focus on anything, like, really, right? So I'll put this on 2x speed. I'll put it on my other monitor, and I'll blitz through Squid Game, the challenge. And it's not even out. So what am I gonna do now? Am I gonna wait for it to come out?
Ish. Well, not parody. They just do the Squid Game.
It's really bad.
But holy, Netflix went hog wild with making it as insufferable as possible. It combines every single awful trope about game shows and rolls it into a Squid Game skin.
You know what the worst part about it is? That it looks incredible. The sets they have are insane. I have no idea how much money they spent on this.
Jesus Christ, it's bad. It's so bad. Almost ruined my whole Thanksgiving. Oh, and I hate the way it's edited, too. When they're playing red light, green light, it is impossible to keep up with anything happening, because they'll, like, jump forward in time and then jump backwards sometimes. So people that are, like, running and then they stop...
I watched it on 2x
like,
speed.
they'll just get fully eliminated, because what actually happened is they actually were moving 30 seconds in the future, but they showed that clip after they were eliminated.
Yeah, I
like,
wasn't even paying
all over the
attention to
place.
that.
It is a mess.
I didn't even care.
Oh my god, I hate it. I hated it. I couldn't imagine watching all 5 episodes. And then, of course, they had to instruct the people to pretend like they don't know what's coming, so when Game 2 happens to be the cookie thing, they're all caught off guard, like, what is this? No, wait, you don't want the umbrella, because you see the umbrella has some very hard-to-follow points to it, that you don't want that.
Yeah, like, exactly. No! And this is another thing, like, a lot of these times, we're just gonna leave it on this frame. With a lot of these things, like, the people act as if they don't know where they are. You know? And if we want to go back, I don't know why I'm just standing Survivor right now. I watch Survivor even now. So just to give you like another example from Survivor of what I mean, it actually being real. So there was an incident in the game where they like have advantages, right? And technically they should be bringing their advantages everywhere. And there was an incident where a player was sent off the game, but he didn't have his advantage with him, so he couldn't use it. So you know what the contestant did next time? They literally brought just all of their stuff to like the tribal council. And Jeff got really annoyed, clearly, because like they're literally just taking their entire camp with them at that point, because they know the rules of the game and they react like normal humans do. It's not like, oh my god, wow, this is a surprise. That's like number 1. Like all of it is so fake. I hate it. I think the fact they spent so much money on the sets contributed to the scripting because they don't want to risk people making it boring. I think so, yeah, because like it is. A lot of these things are like a coin toss between the people you have, right? But even if it did contribute to that, I think they've overdone it to the degree that it's like, it's not even interesting. It is like mind-numbingly dumb. No one acts like the people they picked. People like that don't exist.
You think it was done on the cheap? No, that's what my dad and I were so surprised with. They spent oodles of doubloons to produce this. The sets are incredible. They matched everything 1-to-1. This is a very expensive game show they put on. And sucks. It only gets worse. Yeah, I just don't think I can stomach more of it.
The thing with the sets is that like red light, green light, they can do it again. And I think they will. I think they've built the sets and I think they want to use them for at least a couple seasons. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Not even fun bad. Like, I'm kind of making it sound more fun bad than it was. It was miserable.
Yes.
It was, like, I couldn't even look at the screen half the time. Like, with the shit that was going on, it was so phony baloney. Why did they copy? It was to try and capitalize off the success of Squid Game, but it's so late to it that nobody cares anymore.
What they should have done is they should have probably made, like this, but waited until, like, Season 2 trailer comes out or something like that, right? That's normally what you do with these things. You put like the main event out and then put out something to like tide people over. That is how you capitalize on the success of something that is not going to come out for a long time. You put out the main thing, and then when people are like, oh my god, that's such a long time away, you're like, oh, but wait, there's more. We have this thing to tide you over, and then people might have checked it out. Right now, they basically stealth dropped it. I haven't even watched it, but a lot of people don't give a fuck. People react why things are Bollywood are successful. The thing with Bollywood is that it knows it's being goofy, and people watch it because it's goofy. This, again, I want to make it very clear. This is not fun bad. This is not, you look at it, and it's like, oh my god, they're so silly. This is so dumb. People don't act like that. This is kind of funny. No. No. This is like, you look at it in bewilderment. You're confused how it happened. You're just... It's a very weird situation.
Plus, every YouTuber ever already did it. Oh yeah, sorry. So that was all a prerequisite to this here. The contestants, who again were like normal people that were instructed to act a certain way during the interviews, I believe, they are now claiming that they suffered injuries from it, so hypothermia and nerve damage. And after watching episode 1, I can kind of see how they might have had that happen. Hypothermia, no clue. But nerve damage, a lot of the contestants in the first game adopted this strategy where they would sprint really fast and then dive. Like just full-on dolphin dive like it's Call of Duty. And just eat shit. Literally just eat shit and like penguin slide on the ground as they're skidding across it in order to like stop moving entirely. So I bet there were some real injuries here with people trying some ridiculous strategies. Thanks to tier 1 sausage. But as for the hypothermia, don't know where that comes from yet. Maybe the dormitory wasn't kept at a proper temperature. I really don't know.
Hypothermia still sounds extreme.
Is representing 2 unnamed players who say they suffered hypothermia and nerve damage while shooting in cold conditions in the UK.
Wait, 2 unnamed players? Could it be the ending? Cold conditions? Because didn't the last game happen in like basically... I don't remember. Because the setting for the last game was kind of like a bare room, right? In the show. It might be the final 2 players.
Oh, the contestants' allegations concern their experience shooting the show's opening game,
mind.
Red Light, Green Light. Wait, that's the one I was just talking about. Fire. Yeah, that's it. I imagine that's where most of the injuries would have come from. People were going crazy on their strategies there. Those tactics were nuts.
I'm surprised stuff like this isn't again in the contract. A lot of these things, I'm very, very interested in the contracts, because a lot of these contracts are very, very funny to read. It's like, in case you break your spine, you are signing right now that it is not our fault. Every single thing you do, your fault. You take full responsibility for everything that happens. And then there are like small things that somehow they do have liability over. These contracts are very, very goofy.
The game was filmed at Cardington Studios, a former Royal Air Force base in Bedford, during a cold snap in Britain, and Netflix confirmed at the time that 3 of the 456 players required medical attention. Express Solicitors, which specialize...
3 out of 456? That's not really that big of a deal. That's just like an accidents happened to me.
In no-win, no-fee claims, said its clients risked their health by having to stay motionless for long periods during the shoot as they attempted to stay in the competition.
Yeah, but like again, this is one of those. This is what I mean, right? They had to stay motionless for long periods of time during the shoot as they attempted to stay in the competition. They just don't try to stay in the competition. It's not that deep.
For long periods. There was a 5-minute time limit, unless of course that was all fake too, which it probably was. That just reminded me, another thing during the red light, green light, they try so hard to interject drama into this show.
Oh my god, there was... You know how people say that, like, one of the reasons why some people don't like anime is because there's, a lot of internal monologue, right? Because it comes from a manga where you can have internal monologues. In the anime, it's just the same thing, right? So, that's, like, one big reason why people don't like watching a lot of anime. They put internal monologues in this show. Like, you have a character struggling, and we just suddenly, it's like a narration from them. Oh my god, so bad.
There is a girl who, during red light, green light, stops in like a squatted position, and then they
There was a marathon in the middle of the summer and some people died because of the cold. That's yikes. That's a yikes. During the summertime, I don't know. Summers don't really get that cold here, I guess.
View her. So that she's giving her inner monologue, and she's like, I can't believe I stopped squatted. What was I thinking? I don't know if I can hold on long enough, but I have no choice. I have to. I can't lose now. I need this. I can't. And then she's like, but I'm losing it. I give up. And then she just sits down and loses. Even though it was only like Since there's a timer there, assuming the timer's accurate, she only had to hold that squatted position for like 7 or 8 seconds. Yet she went through like this entire monologue, this entire speech about how difficult the conditions were of just sitting in like a semi-squatted position for a while. Well, a while. 7 seconds. And then she's like, it's too much! Bang! And gives up. Contestants thought they were taking part in something fun, and those injured did not expect to suffer as they did. Now they've been left with injuries after spending time stuck in painful stress positions in cold temperatures. I really do wonder how long they had them out there for.
Couldn't they just straight up quit? I don't see what the problem with this is. Just quit.
Because assuming that the game was real, which I guess it wasn't. Well, I mean, like, the game actually happened as it was supposed to. There's only a 5-minute time limit. So it couldn't have gone too much longer than that if they actually just played it out like a normal competition. But the whole thing is so f***ing fake. So I'm guessing they might have been out there for hours to get the shots they wanted.
Could be, yeah.
I just skimmed through the Squid Game show and holy oh no, I'm not exaggerating. It is awful. It is so bad. Oh man, yeah. It is terrible.
I'm probably not gonna finish it because it's not out.
I don't know why they even bothered. It would have been better if they just let them play out the Squid Game stuff, because at least then it would have been at least somewhat entertaining as just a game show. But here it's like this pseudo drama that is horribly done. It was a big waste of time. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't somewhat interested in watching episode 2. It ends on the weakest cliffhanger imaginable. And that's just almost impressive to me. They're choosing their shapes for the cookie game, and the cliffhanger is he going to go to the umbrella, or is he just going to let himself get eliminated?
Oh yeah. That was really, really... That was yikes. Anyway, let me link this in chat. Don't watch it. It's not good. It wasn't a fun time. It was not a fun time. Squid Game. Squid Game. Maybe I should play Squid Game. I don't think it survived Squid Game. Let me link this in chat. It's a video by Charlie. Like I said, I'm kind of interested to see what happens with this just because I'm interested in, like, the behind-the-scenes stuff. Because I think a lot of these things would have been in the contract, right? Like, you got hurt in the game. Well, how were they supposed to avoid you belly jumping or belly flopping or whatever the hell they were doing while running, you know? Like, that could happen anywhere. And the fact that you were trying to stay in the competition, well, just don't stay in the competition. If they were kept in, like, a cold dormitory, then sure. If it's literally just cold there, then obviously they take liability over that. But people trying to claim damage over something they themselves have done, that's kind of... I don't know. I went to mandatory armed service and signed paper. These sentences were in the paper. I will not report on NAC. I will not... Exactly. Exactly. And you know what the funniest thing about these things is? Is that a lot of these things are in the contract because someone did them. You know all those weird signs that seemingly make no sense? Like, please don't put your head in the toilet and flush it. Don't do that. It's probably there because someone did it. All of those weird signs you occasionally see, I am willing to bet like 75% it is there because someone did it and their lawyers were like, listen, you gotta put up a sign about this. That's the funniest thing to me. A goofy situation. I would not recommend watching it at all. I would not. It wasn't a fun time.